ASEAN has condemned an attack on an aid convoy in Myanmar. The bloc says the perpetrators must be held accountable and is calling for a conducive environment for delivering humanitarian assistance. The group is also urging negotiations to end the violence that has continued since the military seized power more than 2 years ago. ASEAN's leaders are meeting in the Indonesian town of Labuan, Bajo to discuss the future of the bloc. President Joko Widodo is playing host to a group he says must be ready to face global challenges that are becoming increasingly complex. He believes ASEAN should prepare for the worst but remain hopeful for the best.
Saat ini ekonomi global belum sepenuhnya pulih. Rivalitas semakin tajam. Dinamika dunia semakin tidak terprediksi. Dan yang menjadi pertanyaan, apakah ASEAN hanya akan menjadi penonton? Apakah ASEAN hanya akan diam? Serta apakah ASEAN mampu menjadi motor perdamaian dan pertumbuhan?
Filipino leader Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has highlighted ASEAN's internal issues. He says the bloc is not immune to its own challenges as member countries navigate their differences. Mr. Marcos says the group must show the world it can respond as a cohesive force. CNA's Chani Bhavani joins us live from Labuan, Bajo. Chani, ASEAN slamming the attack on an aid convoy in Myanmar, but has it made any progress in promoting peace talks?
Well, at this point, it is unclear on whether progress has been made in promoting the peace talks. However, what we do know is that the leaders did issue a strongly worded joint statement condemning the attack. And not only that, but they also, in that joint statement, showed very strong support for Indonesia. Now, in that joint statement, they said that they supported the statement made by the chair of ASEAN, which is Indonesia, on the 8th of May, and that they also supported the statement made by the President of the Republic of Indonesia and the efforts of the chair of ASEAN, including its continued engagements with Myanmar, with all stakeholders in Myanmar, and to encourage progress to be made in the implementation of the 5-point consensus. Now, remember, President Joko Widodo has previously said, or rather he called the situation in Myanmar very complex. However, he has invited all parties to come to the table to create a space for negotiations and to find solutions together. It's also worth noting that the situation in Myanmar is not going to be resolved, or rather is unlikely to be resolved anytime soon or to be resolved quickly, so to speak. So ASEAN at this point needs to be seen as putting its best foot forward when it comes to tackling the situation and the crisis, especially given the fact that it is happening in ASEAN's own backyard.
Oh, over and above what's happening in Myanmar, ASEAN's unity is very high on the agenda, especially as that crisis calls into question whether ASEAN can handle internal conflict. How does the bloc plan to show that it can be effective and relevant?
That's right. ASEAN unity, a very big theme, a very key theme featuring in this chairmanship of Indonesia. President Joko Widodo has also said that he believes ASEAN can be an engine for peace and growth, provided it has unity. As long as it had unity, he said. Now, ASEAN possesses major assets as the epicentrum of growth. We know that it has an economy that grows far above the global average, a bonus demographic, as well as regional stability. However, President Widodo said that moving forward, ASEAN must continue to work to strengthen economic integration, inclusive cooperation, and the implementation of the RCEP as well. Now, all of that, along with strengthening regional financial stability, food and energy security, and of course, the regional health architecture as well.
Oh, thanks for that. CNA's Chani Bhavani in Labuan, Bajo, Indonesia, speaking to us there live.